Welcome to a special Manga Mavericks report on September 2017 licensing news. We're covering a ton of new licenses that were announced in the month of September 2017, with the exception of the tidal wave that Seven Seas crashed down upon us. Seven Seas released a veritable hurricane of licenses that destroyed Puerto Rico and the East Coast.
That's a bit of an interesting analogy.
It's maybe a little bit too soon to go for that analogy, but yeah. It was a storm of licenses that they made. A veritable hurricane honey.
That's also way too soon.
But it was a great pun to make. It was like a flash flood of licenses. A honey flash flood. But we're not going to talk about the 7 Seas stuff right now. Not in today's video. Today we're going to talk about everyone else, because they licensed way less stuff, and we can probably get through them in half an hour. First, let's go over some Kickstarters. We've got Soul Press, who has launched a Kickstarter to localize the Sakura visual novel. Their campaign sought to raise $24,000 by September 19th to localize the novel. And they succeeded. 584 backers pledged $28,810 to bring the project to life. So, a new visual novel about a student in a love triangle with two girls named Sakura has been licensed. I'm not sure how the visual novel scene is in North America, but I think it's pretty small, so new localizations are definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean, the VN market has gotten a bit better thanks to stuff like Steins Gate Zero, but yeah, it's not, like, huge over here yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, so stuff like this does show that there is a rising interest in visual novels, though, which is nice.
That's cool. But a cooler Kickstarter that happened was won by Progress Technologies to publish a Fist of the North Star bilingual ebook on their E1 book device, which emulates a physical book and will allow switching between English and Japanese language options. What's cool about this ebook is that the device allows reader to browse through manga, and the display is sandwiched between actual physical paper pages and an interchangeable dust jacket cover to emulate the physical appearance and feel of a book. The campaign ends on November 11th, but it has well exceeded its funding goal. The mass production of the device will begin in January, and the product will be shipped in February. So, if you've ever wanted to read Fist of the North Star in English, you have until November 11th to contribute to this Kickstarter. However, I will tell you right now that it is a costly endeavor. You do need to pledge $258 in order to get the ebook device with all of Fist of the North Star included.
Yeah, it is a hefty price tag, but at the same time, like, looking at the quality of the actual ebook itself, it makes sense. Like, a good 50% of that cost is going towards the actual device.
Mm-hmm. I have spent way too much money to support a project like this, as much as I love Fist of North Star, but I'm glad that there is a legal option to read it.
One thing that makes me curious about this is that it doesn't seem like this, like, Kickstarter is funding the translation itself. It seems like the translation is something that's already been given to them by, I think, whoever has the publishing rights to this version of Fist of the North Star. So what I'm wondering is that maybe this version of Fist of the North Star, like, the translation will show up on, like, some digital service like Bookwalker at some point. Kind of like the Kaiji Series 1 translation just, like, randomly showed up on Bookwalker.
It's a possibility for sure. I wouldn't count it out, and it'd be really cool if that happens. But speaking of ebooks, J Novel Club has licensed the Outbreak Company novel series. This had an anime a couple years ago, I believe. This series is penned by Ichiro Sakaki. The online service of J Novel Club is currently offering the first half of Volume 1 free for members, and the first 40 pages for free users. and the ebook will go on sale this November. This 18-volume series has been running since 2011, and it just ended this last August, and it's about an otaku who goes into a fantasy world.
Of course.
Yeah. It had an anime back in 2013, and I remember reception to it not being great, but who knows? Maybe the light novel's better. Regardless, another cool new license for you light novel fans.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like that J Novel Club is picking up a lot of these, older light novel titles that are kind of less relevant now, but still have, a small cult following.
Yes, but I'm also very happy to see more manga get digital releases over here by other publishers. Medibang has recently published the Rogue Samurai manga digitally in English. It's available on Amazon for $5 or for free on Kindle Unlimited. The series is serialized in Kalakawa's Comic Bean magazine. The 3 physical volumes were published from 2005 to 2006, and digital volumes came out in 2014. So it's a fairly older title, but it's just cool to see an obscure title get digitally licensed and released by Medibang.
Definitely. I mean, whatever can get licensed, small or big, is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and hopefully Medibang can release more of these smaller series as well, because I think in general we don't get a lot of Comic Beam stuff or Comic Xeon stuff, so yeah. That is a whole different section of the Kadokawa manga market that we just don't get.
Yeah, it's really cool to see releases like that. Also cool is Yen Press is publishing the Goblin Slayer Side Story Year 1 manga. It's a same-day simulpub with the Japanese release that is being published in Young Gangan. At least the light novel series is published in Young Gangan. And yeah, so this is a spin-off of that light novel series, and you can just read the manga adaptation of it, or spin-off of it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Goblin Slayer, so I've been meaning to check it out personally. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know that and Rising of the Shield Hero, the 2 LN series that Yen Press has that don't have animes yet that are supposed to be really good.
Shield Hero in particular, I know is a very interesting title because I have read the manga. It's very good. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on a possible future anime adaptation of both Goblin Slayer and Shield.
I mean, Shield Hero is getting an anime.
But speaking of fantasy titles, Dark Horse is publishing a new Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia next April. This new encyclopedia is called the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia. That's just the name. It's going to come out on April 24, 2018, and it's going to be the third and final book in Dark Horse's guidebook series for The Legend of Zelda. The same book was published in Japan this past March. It's going to be a comprehensive collection of enemies and items, positions to pose, and an expansion of the lore touched upon in Hyrule Historia. You have the Hyrule Historia, don't you, V-Lord?
Yeah, the Hyrule Historia is an interesting book. It's basically an art book for the most part, and then just has small little details about how they design certain things, and then it has a Skyward Sword manga in the second half. But yeah, it's a good book.
Are you interested in picking up this encyclopedia?
I don't know. I mean, I like Zelda, but I'm not a hardcore Zelda fan.
But if you are a hardcore Zelda fan, this book might be worth picking up.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're a hardcore Nizo-Izen fan, then you'll definitely want to check out Tizen Zodiac War, which is being simulpublished on Viz.com.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that Viz picked up Tizen, because when I learned that Akira Akatsuki was doing the manga adapter, I'm like, hey, that would be a good series for Viz to simulpub. Do it, Viz, do it. And they did it, so I'm happy.
It's a same-day simulpub with the series' release on the Shonen Jump Plus app in Japan, and it is another collaboration between Nizo-Izen and Akira Akatsuka, who drew the Medaka Box manga, which was published in Shonen Jump for a good many years. And this series is basically Nizo-Izen's take on the Fate concept, but with the Zodiac animals instead.
Yeah, pretty much. We actually recently recorded a discussion for it, so you'll probably hear that at some point as well if it's not already out by this point.
Yes. definitely check that out for more information and our thoughts on this interesting new franchise.
Yeah.
But this is not the only thing Viz recently licensed, and to me, this is a way bigger deal. Because Viz has licensed Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle.
Or as some people might know it as Majo de Oyasumi.
Yes, this manga by Kagiji Kuma no Mata is about a princess who just wants to get a good night's sleep, but she keeps getting interrupted because she lives in a demon castle by demons who kidnapped her, and they keep, interrupting her sleep. And she couldn't give a damn about the hero who's trying to rescue her or the fact that, she's surrounded by demons. She just wants to rest and sleep. It's a very cute manga. I love reading about what happens in it on Bomber D. Rufy's blog Sunday on Tuesday, which you should all check out.
Yeah.
But to me, what is so exciting about this license is that this is the first weekly Shonen Sunday title Wiz has licensed in 4 years! Since Magi, there has not been a new Shonen Sunday license from Wiz Media. But finally, they have done another one.
Yeah, it's been surprising that Sunday has just gotten such a total shaft since Magi. I mean, Magi was the last big Shonen Sunday series over here. But they never bothered to capitalize on Keijo or Dagashi Kashi or even Silver Spoon. The Empress had to pick up Silver Spoon.
This is definitely a title I would not have expected over those you just mentioned.
I was expecting, if they were going to pick up a Sunday series, I was expecting Dagashi Kashi, since that's getting a season 2, or Komi-san, since Komi-san has a lot of attention online. Probably because, it does kind of, involve, the main character's, social awkwardness and, fear of, interaction.
Yeah, I'm really pushing and hoping that Komi-san and Tenchi Akato could get licensed. Definitely Sobote must be destroyed.
Sobote, really, anything in Sunday.
Yeah. To me,
mean,
it's just such a relief that finally we have another Shonen Sunday license after so long.
I mean, I think with Sunday's getting so much new blood now because of pretty much everything that was, all the old series are just ending now. So hopefully these new line of new series and under the new, relatively recent editor-in-chief, these series can finally be pushed into the spotlight and then get licensed over here.
Definitely. One thing that people are speculating is that they are licensing this manga might indicate that an anime might be planned for it as well.
It might be, at the very least, it is a sign that at least Shogakukan and Viz consider it a series that is either successful now or will be successful in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say, it has a decent chance. But then again, they also licensed Itsuwari Bito, and I don't think anyone really cared about Itsuwari Bito.
Well, I think some people at Viz cared.
Yeah, they still released the entire thing, though I'm only sure 5 people were buying it.
Well, that's an awesome license from Wiz. So let's finish off here with some Cadential licenses. They have recently added 2 new series for digital releases, Magical Senpai and Grand Blue Dreaming. Magical Senpai by Azu is about a magic-loving but stage-fright adult senpai that has a failure rate of 100% in her magic tricks, and it's an off-color magical gag manga. And Grand Blue Dreaming by Kenji Inoue and Kimitaka Yoshioka is about a guy who moves to a seaside town to go to college and makes friends with a bunch of weirdos. And they have a glorious college tale filled with booze-filled antics. There was recently a Cadential USA sale on Comixology, so I got the first volume of Grand Blue Dreaming for about $5. So I'll definitely take a look at that pretty soon, I hope.
Yeah,
but both of these titles definitely sounded very interesting to me, and I know that both of these titles are actually quite popular. There's a very good MEL score for Grand Blue Dreaming. It has a 9.
Grand Blue has a really big cult following online. I guess not too surprising since the writer is the creator of Baka and Test. But, even then, it's, really popular. It has, over a 9.0 on MAL, which I know MAL scores aren't, the end-all, be-all of quality, but, to be able to be that, high on people's lists, is really impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be reading this, because it's been on my backlog for a while.
Indeed. But another thing that's been on my backlog for a decade is Rave Master. And finally, there's an easy way to read Rave Master, because on October 3rd, Cadential Comics is going to release all 35 volumes of Hiro Mashima's classic on digital platforms. And the pre-orders will be 40% off.
And then you'll be able to rave all about it.
Yeah. Welcome to a land overrun by evil. There's a carrot-nosed dog. I don't remember all the lyrics to the Rave Master opening, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't watch it that much.
Yeah, but I hear Rave Master's Mashima's good series, so...
Relatively good, at the very least.
It gives me hope that I'll be able to actually read more than 5 chapters of it.
Colton likes it, so we'll probably do a Manga Mavericks on it at some point.
Okay.
Also, cool new licenses that they have is Shiori Yamase's All Out, the rugby manga that had a middling adaptation last year, I think, but
I heard some positive stuff about it. For me, it seemed like they were overblowing the fan service. Which, that's why I kind of avoided the anime, because, oh, hey, rugby, but then I realized, oh, wait, they're, really overemphasizing this, male fan service.
Sure, but more interesting to me between the sports manga they've licensed is Yoko Nihonbashi's Shoujo Fight, a volleyball manga that follows a middle school volleyball club.
It's female haikyuu.
Yeah, and the art style looked great. Both All Out and Shoujo Fight are already out. And I haven't gotten the volume yet, but I probably will buy it after this podcast, because now that I've been reminded of it, because it looks really good.
Yeah.
And I definitely want more female-led sports manga in my life.
Yeah. Cadential's always just picking up all the good stuff.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. You're forgetting about 7 Seas and their flash flood of licenses that we need to cover.
Oh God,
but that will be in another video.